The problem for Tulip Siddiq is that the contradictions are now on the record, and therefore with precision. It's a fact that she faces not only a legal battle in Dhaka, but an acute credibility crisis in London. The issue is simple to state. For years, she has insisted that she is British only and has not held Bangladeshi identity documents as an adult, and newly resurfaced records in Dhaka, published in tandem by the Times and the newspapers in Bangladesh, indicate that she held a Bangladeshi passport and a national identity card with voter registration and a Dhaka address tied to her aunt Sheikh Hasina. Siddiq calls the materials fabricated. The Bangladeshi authorities say they are authentic and form part of the evidential trail. That is the core contradiction. It makes Tulip Siddiq, the Labour MP, appear to be both a hypocrite and a liar. So, putting a clear timeline on the table, according to the Dhaka records reported today, a Bangladeshi passport was issued in London when Siddiq was 19 and renewed again in January 2011 in Dhaka. The NID record also dated January 2011 with entries in the Electoral Commission database showing an associated voter number. So the Bangladeshi press reports that NID was later administratively locked this year, along with those of other Hasina family members. Siddiq's team say none of these documents exist. The clash between that categorical denial and the documentary trail is the point at issue. Now, set that against the court proceedings. In August, the anti-corruption trial opened at Dhaka Special Judge Court 4. Prosecutors allege that Siddiq used her position as a British MP to exert pressure on her aunt to secure plots in a building project for close family members, despite eligibility rules that would ordinarily preclude such allocations. She is being tried in absentia alongside her mother, sister and brother. She calls the case a farce and a political vendetta. Whatever one's views of Bangladeshi politics, the formal charge sheet hangs, the hearing dates and the prosecutor's statements are matters of record. There's a secondary allegation that goes to nationality status, and prosecutors say she is being tried as a Bangladeshi citizen because they've located a passport, NID and tax identifier. Again, Siddiq's lawyers maintain the documents are fabricated. This is not a subtle disagreement about wording, it's a binary clash of fact claims that can in principle be settled by document forensics and issuing authority logs. That is why today's joint reporting by the Times and by the Bangladeshi press is so damaging. It bolsters the state's claim to have primary records, while her legal team maintain there is nothing genuine to see. Why does this matter in Britain beyond the lurid headlines? Because Siddiq did not merely hold office, she was the UK Economic Secretary to the Treasury and the City Minister until January, responsible for parts of the economic crime brief. She resigned on reputational risk grounds while maintaining she'd done nothing wrong, and was cleared by the Prime Minister's advisor of impropriety under the Ministerial Code. That clearance was not a finding on Bangladeshi documents. It was a narrow UK standards assessment. The fresh material, therefore, reopens not the Ministerial Code verdict, but the political judgment about her public standards, and therefore the political judgment also of Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister. Consider the public record quotes. In 2017, when asked whether she would intervene in a Bangladeshi legal case, she replied in essence that she is British and not Bangladeshi. In August this year, a spokesman for her lawyers told the Financial Times that she has never had a Bangladeshi NID or voter ID and had not held a passport since childhood. Those are unqualified statements. If the Dhaka databases and document images now reported are valid, the words look not merely imprecise but flatly wrong. If they are forgeries, then the onus is on her team to publish a falsification analysis of the security features, insurance numbers and back office logs. Either way, silence will not do. The legal track in Dhaka is also specific. The Anti-Corruption Commission alleges that plots in the New Town project were obtained by misuse of office. Prosecutors say witness evidence and administrative correspondence support the claim that the pressure was applied to officials. Sentencing exposure has been reported at 3 to 10 years on the land counts if convicted. Siddiq says she has received no formal summons and will respond to real evidence if served. The process has been adjourned to stages including an August 28th hearing for further witnesses. Those are the procedural facts, independent of anyone's politics. A brief word on nationality law, since it sits under much of the public confusion. Under Bangladeshi law, citizenship by descent and by birth is recognised and dual citizenship is possible. A person who wishes to relinquish Bangladeshi citizenship should make a formal renunciation through the Ministry of Home Affairs. The crux is not whether dual citizenship is lawful, it's whether Siddiq did or did not hold and use Bangladeshi state documents as an adult, and whether she misled the public about the fact. That is a character and candour question, not a question about the acceptability of dual status. That brings me to the charge of hypocrisy. Siddiq has positioned herself as a voice against corruption, inequality, and misuse of office in the West, while also insisting that her family ties to Bangladesh have created more problems than advantages. The image that now competes with that narrative is of an MP photographed on high-level trips, listed on a Dhaka voter roll, allegedly lobbying within a land allocation system widely seen as a magnet for patronage. It is not hypocritical to have family abroad. It is hypocritical to renounce a national identity while it is politically awkward, then be recorded as enjoying the privileges that identity confers when convenient. That is the tension the documents, if validated, expose. What should Parliament and the public ask first, then? First, document verification. Have independent UK-based forensic experts examine the passport and the NID images that Dhaka officials say they now hold? Have the issuing authority logs been checked for the relevant serials, MRZ data and insurance and issuance dates? If so, what is the match result? Second, communication trace. If Siddiq says she has never received a summons, the ACC and the court registry should be asked to publish redacted proof of service attempts to the address they say they used. Third, conflict questions. As City Minister, she reviewed parts of a financial services policy. Was any due diligence done at the time on foreign property interests or cross-border exposure involving her immediate family? Those are practical, not theatrical questions, and questions for British governments today and in the future. Finally, the politics. The British public doesn't need London to adjudicate Dhaka's case. It does need its MPs to tell the truth about their status, their documents, their interests. If the Times and Bangladesh reporting stand up under forensic scrutiny, Siddiq's denials will look like a deliberate strategy to push an inconvenient identity out of sight while retaining its benefits. If the materials are forged, she should commission and publish an expert report, invite police to open a criminal investigation into the fabrication, and press for a mutual legal assistance request to unmask the forgers. Either outcome demands clarity. The one luxury that is not available in a ministerial Britain is ambiguity about who you are and which records you hold. The legal claims in Dhaka may yet succeed or fail on their own merits. The credibility issue in Westminster is already live. It turns on a crisp proposition. Did Tulip Siddiq hold a Bangladeshi passport and NID as an adult? Today's publications say yes. Her lawyers say no. Until that is resolved with evidence that can be inspected, the charge of dishonesty will sit on the table and the charge of hypocrisy will continue to gather force.